Hey everybody, Scott Sexsmith here with a strategic plan to introduce and roll out social media for a local company here in Sault Ste. Marie called McDougall Energy. Now, just to give you some background on McDougall, they're a family-owned and operated business, third generation in fact, with over 70 years in business, approximately 500 employees, largely based in Ontario, with a smaller footprint in Alberta and the BC interior. McDougall has been awarded one of Canada's best managed companies 8 consecutive years, and they are very entrenched in the communities in which they serve. Here's an overview of the business. McDougall has 4 pillars: home, business, retail, and auto. The key brands that we're going to be focusing on with this social media rollout is Esso Mobile, Circle K, and Esso Pump. The goals of this rollout are to introduce and implement a social media strategy for the business, focusing on increased branding, awareness, and a one-to-one connection with customers. We're going to use social media tools as both internal and external drivers for communicating, and we're going to drive employee engagement numbers. The measurable objectives: the introduction will include a staff rollout and review social media policy do's and don'ts. We're hoping to achieve that by mid-November. On the metric side, a community of 5,000 across all platforms is what we're aiming for, and we also want those 5,000 to be actively engaged, and we're targeting the end of Q1 in 2020 to have that achieved. And SLT involvement is something that's important as well, to engage both internal and external customers. We've learned that when SLT members are involved in social media, the trust factor for that company goes up. So we're looking at implementing a CEO podcast and a senior vice president blog, and we'd like to have that accomplished by the end of 2020. What's our strategy? Well, we're going to implement a social media policy, launch a program to train employees on the strategic reasons why this is being done and how they can get involved. We're going to appoint social media champions that'll be responsible for content creation, distribution, and monitoring. Involve key SLT members to help build on that trust factor externally and to assist in driving employee engagement internally. Introduction of internal platform to increase communication and engagement, and the dependencies involved in this launch will include ownership, senior leadership, legal, HR, marketing, communications, and IT. The messaging, or the 3 key messaging points that we're going to focus on with this launch, will include brand awareness, providing peace of mind, and by that I mean as much as McDougall is in the energy business, they're also very much aware that they're in the providing peace of mind business, so that's going to be a key component for us. Also, their community investment program, which ties back to the work that they do in each of the communities in which they serve. How are we going to do it? Here are the platforms. Externally, we're going to focus on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Internally, we're going to implement Yammer and use that for internal announcements by department and also by division. And Yammer will also house all resource and training materials for all employees. What does the timeline look like? SLT approval, we're hoping for the 1st of November 2019. The launch announcement will happen mid-month, by the 15th of November. Employee training will be done by the end of that month. Social media champions will be trained and introduced by the middle of December, with a platform launch geared for January 1st of 2020. How are we going to measure success? Well, we want traction on all platforms, vanity metrics across all 3 key brands with a community of 5,000. We want to see some conversion growth. Is the audience acting on the offers? And there's that hashtag we spoke about, providing peace of mind. We want to see that get some traction and have some real meaning. And of course, some continued growth in our community profile. On the employee engagement side, a couple of points. 1, we want to increase in communication scores. And 2, on the employee engagement survey, we want to see an increase in the question, do I have faith and trust in the senior leadership team? The budget for this is $35,000. That's my project. Thanks for taking the time to watch.